What's up, warriors, samurais, and legends? Today, I want to talk about how Gimmik was created production-wise and what the idea and mindset was heading into it. This is an opportunity that I wanted to use to pull the curtains back a little to reveal how fun this process was for Sensei Studios. So Gimmik was a character in the Rapture that was created and built up to be this ultimate badass. Originally, he was created by Pixelated Cody as a shape-shifting character, but truthfully, this character could have been a character that just passes by or just not as big of a deal. But once Cody brought it up to me, we've had Gimmik planned since 2022, and it was actually a character in Rapture Racers. At that time, we didn't have a design in place, but Cody knew the direction that the character could go. So once Cody presented it to me, I remember literally saying September 2023. That's when I wanted to debut this character. Along the way, you're starting to see videos released on this channel alluding to things like Bagley researching and traveling through different Torii gates. You're starting to see Rapture Roshi's wisdom through all his years of combat, starting to feel that something is upon us, something is on the way. Even later on, I allude to starting to feel like this presence among us. And at that time, the dojo was undefeated. Identical to the Mojo god Devoritos, what truly evicts emotion out of warriors is to feel permanent loss. Now, how I knew that we may be in trouble for this fight in general was due to chapter 27, and we had a Toy Story crossover. And in that chapter, we faced Sid from Toy Story and Lego Darth Vader. Now, that fight came down to the buzzer, the very last wave. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, are they actually ready for the first Ancient ever? We wanted to allude to the fact that he was coming to chapter 28, but when? The mystery and anticipation to know that in any moment during any of the pages, any of the action taking place can be interrupted by Gimmik. And eventually Gimmik debuts, he cuts me off from speaking, stream ends, and everyone is just like, what the hell just happened? Cinema. We got us a story. During the fight with Gimmik in chapter 28, the dojo showed up. I think it was universally understood that this was the biggest challenge that they had ever faced. We knew that once his play around displayed HP was depleted, he'd reveal that he was toying around with the dojo and that he wasn't even fighting seriously. And I remember the warrior Heno popping up in a voice chat with us celebrating because he missed the end of the stream. He only witnessed Gimmik perishing. You can audibly hear the disappointment in Heno finding out that Gimmik was alive and well, and now we have entered the Gimmik arc. So for the first time now, the dojo is experiencing not only their first loss, but the realization or the scratching your head moment of, well, what do we do now? At this point behind the scenes, we knew that Gimmik would be around for a long time. We didn't know exactly when it would be time for round 2, but since 2022, Cody and I knew exactly how we wanted the Gimmik fight to end. We knew we wanted the warriors to experience a power past awakening. We wanted warriors to break through that ceiling and experience how it feels to ascend. That feeling of, wow, we laid everything on the line and he's still not destroyed. Then you break through your limitations and pretty much have an outer body experience. As more and more time passed, we didn't want the dojo to feel complacent or to never be on their toes. I wanted warriors to understand we are literally under the tyranny and the reign of Gimmik. We start seeing him get involved in other boss fights to instill the feeling of, wait a minute, you mean to tell me while I'm facing a different crossover boss, this tyrant Gimmik can interfere with this too? This guy is breaking all the rules we set in place that we knew to be a part of the Rapture, but we wanted Gimmik to really blur the lines of that suspicion of wondering if even the developers of the Rapture can control this force. So Gimmik was around for 10 months, and those months were hell. This character is affecting the scoreboard. He's timing people out regularly in chat, just anytime he feels like it. During the span of those 10 months, I wanted to introduce more original characters that the dojo has never seen before. We introduced characters like Whisper, Goristro, and Gadget. We saw Gimmik's 5 labors during chapter 31, the formation of the Crystal Coalition, who was a group set out to find more information about Gimmik and retrieve the captured Mojumon that Whisper sealed away. Gimmik had to be increasingly obnoxious as time moved on to display how annoyed he was at the dojo foiling a bunch of his plans to our Toriverse. So now you're starting to see Gimmik time out multiple people at a time from chat. I think even he started hitting Mojimon and just being a menace. Now, what was never ever planned was Gimmik to have a second form, his nightmare form. That was never planned. Green Novas approached me with the idea of introducing a second form or some sort of transformation for Gimmik. The challenge and the issue was round 2 versus Gimmik was supposed to happen a month from then. So we had a lot of work to do. We had to quickly get Ryu to make this form and animate it, and then I had to ask Neku to make a theme that felt important, a theme song that was filled with encouragement and the preparation to ascend. And much credit to the black belts also for the timing of playing cutscenes, because those also had to be on point. When you start to realize how many people were involved behind the scenes on the creation, from design to the character presentation to the cutscenes to the installation in the Rapture robot to the music, it really was a special time. I again want to thank everyone for their participation in the community, man. 10 years strong. I don't make these videos on this channel to try to gain subscribers or anything like that. This channel is more for all the people that ever put into the start of the Rapture and everything that comes with it. To have archived videos of recaps or covering Mojimon, character lore, the culmination of Gimmik, this has enabled me to do this full time while helping pay others for the production of these things. So I owe so much to the Rapture and the players of it. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video and just going down memory lane and hearing some of the behind the scenes work of the production of the Ancient of Deceit Gimmik. I like to leave room for imagination, so I don't think I'd ever just tell every single detail ever, but this was certainly fun for me. So if you want to see more information or hear more information on Gimmik to know exactly how the dojo was feeling around this time, that he was around, that he was alive, just causing havoc, and any more Gimmik videos in general, just relive that experience, they're all here on this channel once again, man. So as always, warriors, keep on training.